Hey everybody, since we've got assignment coming up on January 31st, I wanted to go ahead and do a quick video on what the assignment is, how to turn it in, and some resources that you have available to you as well. So first of all, here I am in Blackboard where the assignment is located. It's if I go here to assignments and I go to weekly analyses, your assignment that's due on the 31st is this weekly analysis 1 right here. For whatever reason, since I'm the administrator on this, if I try and move this to the top and then I come back to assignments and go to weekly analyses, for me, the first assignment, for whatever reason, keeps moving back to the middle. I don't know why. But this one right here is the one that's due in a couple of days on the 31st. Now, here's what it is. Weekly analysis 1. It's basically, I want you, something that has been discussed in class so far in the lectures or in the sways. I want you to just talk about it in your own words for 2 double-spaced 12-point Times New Roman pages. That's it. Just talk about it in your own words. It's not a research paper. You are not required to utilize outside sources in any way whatsoever. If you do use them, you do need to cite them, but that's not the point. It's not a research paper. I don't want you to regurgitate information from elsewhere. I want you to talk about something that was talked about in the class material. Now, to this end, if you look here, you'll notice there are some attached files right here. So what I want you to do is look at these 3 things. So I'm going to explain them. So first of all, I have a formatting exemplar. So this is the first one here, the one that says paper formatting exemplar. The last time I updated it was fall 2019. I haven't updated it yet because I don't think it needs to be updated. So this is what it looks like when you open it. It looks like this. It's basically, this is kind of the gist of the format, but it also has comments on here that give suggestions on what to do. And you'll notice these things are here. So if you notice this, you open it, it's got all these little bubbles here, but the bubbles don't say anything. What I want you to do here in Microsoft Word, go up to the Review tab and go to Show Comments. Now what happens is pretty much anywhere where I have a note on something, it shows up here. And so these are the suggestions on what to do. So you have the basic format. Here's exactly what the title page should look like. Here's 12-point Times New Roman, double-spaced. Last name and page number in the header. Notice I double-clicked on the header. Now open that up. It should be your last name and page number here in the header. And the first actual page of content is page 1. The cover page is page 0. And as a matter of fact, if you're a little bit anxious about the format, one of the things that you can do here is you can go in and delete all these comments in the Review tab. So if I were to go in here and just delete all these, this would take a little while. Delete all the comments here and delete all the stuff. So let's see if we can. I'm just going to do that for the sake of doing it. Basically, now what you've got, I didn't even need to delete the content. Just the content. There you go. Actually, I'll go undo that a little bit. Maybe a little bit more. Basically, you've got the here. I'll do this. Make it a little bit simpler. Delete some stuff except for maybe the first paragraph of samples. And then maybe kill some of this stuff. So here we go. And what that means now is, here I got the first sentence here. The format is good to go. So if you just start typing in on your own, this is exactly the way that it ought to be at this point. Like it's good. The format's ready. Stick your last name in here. For example, mine is Burris. This is, I'll put it in here, weekly analysis, not weekly, but weekly analysis 1, start typing. Okay. And obviously fill the stuff in here that pertains to you on the cover page. But don't do this thing on the first page of the paper where people go like name, date, class, favorite color, favorite movie. Like people just start listing a bunch of stuff on the first page. Just start right there. All that other information should be here on the cover page. So that's good to go. That's the exemplar. That's what it's there for. And like I said, if you look at the full complete version, I'm going to make everything come back here in just a moment. There are all kinds of pointers. If you do use citations, here's what they look like. Here's a bunch of examples. If you do a large quotation, which you shouldn't, here's what it should look like. Pretty much all the things that I've imagined that you might need to do are all explained here. Things what not to do, things not to begin. Don't begin with a overly generalized sentence like, for thousands of years, people have been talking about philosophy. Don't do that. So that's there. And also, in Blackboard, there are two other things here that should be helpful to you as well. I have an example of what a good paper looks like. So, and the student's name has been removed, and I've done this with permission. Here's an example of you see, it's just a little over 2 pages total. There it is. It gets right to the point. It doesn't have a cover page, but in terms of I think that's obvious, but in terms of the actual content of the paper, here it is. Here's somebody talking about something that was discussed in class. 12-point times Roman 2 pages. There are no footnotes here. There's no outside sources. This paper received 100 in my class before. So obviously it's something that we haven't covered yet, so please don't copy the paper itself. But my point is that the way in which the paper is, this is something that your paper should look like. And then with permission, I also reproduced a student paper that was, it's not terrible. In fact, this paper was a C. This is not an F paper. This is a C paper, and I mean, you could, just looking at it, hopefully when you open it, you can see it's not in the right font, it's not double spaced, it's not 12-point, it's not Times New Roman. I don't know what's going on here with all this space. I don't know what's going on here with all this space. There's this citation just kind of hanging there. And then the paper itself, it starts with throughout the progression of philosophy, don't ever begin a paper with an overgeneralized statement. So for thousands of years, whatever class you're in, don't start a paper with something like that. And they didn't really talk about things in their own words. They kind of it's kind of a random conglomeration of things, or agglomeration of things, I should say. But so all these things have just been compiled together. So this is it's not terrible, but it's not great. It's not really talking about in their own words. It's just it's the replication of kind of some random stuff from the course. But you can also tell that the format is definitely wrong. There's some editing mistakes. For example, this person talked about Christianity, okay, instead of Christianity. So there are some things in there. But like I said, this was a C paper. Not the end of the world, not the most terrible thing I've ever read, but not very good. So compare those two when you're writing your own. Like, does it look more like this one? Step it up. Does it look more like the other one? You're probably going to be good then. Now, that's what the assignment is, where it is here in Blackboard. How to turn it in. So what you'll do is, where it says Weekly Analysis 1 here, click on it, and then you'll come to this page. It'll tell you here's when it's due. Yes, it says February 1st. That's because midnight is the start of the day, according to Blackboard's clock. So it's due the 31st at midnight. If it comes in at February 1st at 12:01 a.m., I suppose, then it's late. Now, you'll see there's a place for comments here. Do not copy and paste your paper in here. Do not write the paper in here or anything like that. What you'll do is this. Your composition Microsoft Word document, it must be a Microsoft Word document, not an RTF, not a PDF, not an HTML file, not a link of any kind. I don't want an actual .doc or .docx, a Microsoft Word document. What you'll do is you'll go to Browse My Computer, and for me, I have under Documents, I even have a little fake weekly analysis that has my name on it. So it should probably be your last name in Weekly Analysis 1, but I have this here. You'll double click on it, and now you can see that it's attached. Burris Weekly Analysis is there, and you can see it's a .doc file. I'm sorry, this is a .docx, which means it's a Microsoft Word file. And you can say, like, I don't know, here it is. You don't need to say anything at all, but this is simply for comments. Submit. It's in. Okay. It is now in. So, and it'll say up here, submission from previewed assignment is not set. Well, that's because this is for me here, Professor Burris. For you to look a little bit different as a student. So yeah, if I want to just do that again, just to make sure. So it's attached, submit. Yeah, because I'm in professor mode here, it's not allowing me to attach it. But that's how yours will work here. So if you have questions about this while you're working on it, again, email address burrust, B-U-R-R-U-S-T @atc.edu. This assignment again is due by end of day on January 31st, and I hope you have a good rest of your January. All right, everybody. Bye-bye.